Hey guys, it's Sarah here from Edgecombe Art. Bit of a strange one today. I'm actually starting to post over on my personal channel, Sarah Edgecombe, rather than Edgecombe Art, and I'm going to be doing some art journaling over here, doing a bullet journal, and just keeping a log and a record of everything that is art related in bullet journaling. So if you're interested in bullet journaling and you're interested in art, this is what I'm going to be posting over here. So I'm going to be creating like a log and a record of all my paintings and recording them in a pretty journal and going through and showing you how I'm doing that and just talking about those sorts of things. So it's everything related to bullet journaling, but particularly bullet journaling for artists or people who create things. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But today I actually thought I'd start off by doing a little bit of an unboxing of my Kmart haul. I went to Kmart today for shoelaces because my daughter broke her shoelaces on the way to school this morning, and came out with a grand total of $112 worth of stuff from Kmart. Bit of an enigma over here in Australia is Kmart. Anyway, I'm not all on bullet journaling. I did actually buy $6 worth of shoelaces and another pair of shoes and some clothes and a few other little things. So it really wasn't quite that expensive. But I'll do the costing and stuff for you in here. And so this is going to be a little bit of an unboxing, show you what you can get at Kmart, and then I'm going to cut, stop, change the screens and do a little bit of a tester of all of the pens and the equipment and the books, and show you, what I think about the items that you can get from Kmart for bullet journaling. So first of all, apologies, we've got a thunderstorm rolling in. If you can hear in the background there raining, and then if you can hear crazy other sounds. My husband's building a step, and of course this was when I was supposed to be recording, and I didn't think he was going to be building a step in the thunderstorm. He is. Anyway, Kmart bullet journaling. If you don't know what bullet journaling is, do look it up, but very basically it's a particular style of journaling where you use a particular type of paper, and in this case it's like a special sort of dotted paper, and you create like a very sort of a visual diary that's sort of in dot points and notes with doodles and drawings and sticky any bits, rather than just writing and writing and writing. That's not the aim of a bullet journal. I might leave some links down below if anyone wants to see some really cool examples of bullet journaling. Anyway, so let's start with the most important thing, the journals themselves, which can be quite expensive to get, mostly because they have better quality paper than the ones you can get at Kmart. So these are a 70 GSM paper, which seems to me to be a little bit thin on it, but that's okay. That's the whole point of reviewing the Kmart supplies. It is a $5 journal, and if you don't have a lot of money to get started, or you just want to have a go, or something like that, a $5 journal is fine. So there's a dot journal. It's got a ribbon in it and a little elastic band. Because in true style, it was a $20 journal sort of somewhere else. I actually bought 3 of them in Kmart. I also bought this one here, which is I guess a little bit prettier, hardcover. It was quite nice in the hand. Same thing, it's got a ribbon in it and a elastic cover, and it's got the same dotted page. Sorry, my camera's taking a little moment to autofocus there. And I got 2 of them. So I spent $15 on journals instead of buying one for like $24.95 from somewhere else. And then I got a whole heap of stationery supplies because I love stationery, although I'm a little bit fussy with stationery, so I'm a little bit worried about how this is going to go. I like quality pens. I don't often deal with the cheaper brands of pens. If I need a 4-color big pen, I need the 4-color big pen. I can't do the cheaper versions of those. They have to be the right ones. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, so I bought these brush tip artist pens, and as I said, I will pause the video and actually show them all working on the pages. Excuse me. And then I also bought these metallic brush pens. So they are they're pretty cool. I don't know what nib, or it doesn't actually say the brush pen, so they won't have a mil on them. I bought some fineliner pens. Again, I'm particular about these, so I'm not sure how these are going to go, but they're 0.4 fineliner. Again, obviously good old Kmart Anko. I can't remember how much they would be, about $3 or $4 again. Same with these, some fine liner pens in some pretty colours. 12 pack, 0.5 meal tips on those. And I just got these were $3, a metallic marker, gold and silver, point, so 1.0 tips. Of course I have to start coughing just as I'm doing a video. And then I got these were little $6 or $7 watercolor brush pens. So there's, as I said, 12 in there, 12 in the pack, so you know, pink and red and orange and blues and all those sorts of things. And then I also got these, which are the dual tip markers. So you got those colors there and those colors on the back as well. And they have a chisel tip and a bullet tip. I don't know on the pack if it tells me exactly what the mils on the bullet tips are, but that's what it's got. I also got the little light that I'm using right now. So this is off and on. So it's just a $12 you know, clip-on ring light. It comes in a little box like this. This is actually my second one of these. I bought a second one today because they are not toddler proof, just so you know. My 2-year-old went a little bit nuts with my one and she broke it. This untwists and she untwisted it and like the wires sort of were inside a little bit. It wasn't plugged in at the time, but yeah, it's kind of just pulled the wires a bit. But they're really good. So they've got the different colors, the lighting on it. So it's got 3 different, so it's got this one, and this one. So it's a cool, a warm, and a more natural light, and you can increase the brightness as well. So this is down quite low, and you can put it up quite high, and it's really, really bright. I think it's about 10 levels of brightness. So I just wanted a little bit of extra light. I've just changed all the lighting in this room. We had like sort of, you know, 2700K, you know, lighting in here, which was horrendously, horribly orange and dull, and I couldn't shoot any videos whatsoever in it. It was hideous. So I've just changed them over to as close to a daylight bulb as I could get, but it's still not quite right. I do have my big art lights that you can't see off screen there, which are very expensive daylight bulbs, but I don't have them turned on for the video because I've only got one up and yeah, it's just too bright. And then I also got another little Bunnings sort of light up there as well, but the colour in here is not quite right. The walls are hideous. This coffee snot colour that's on the walls, it's just quite gross. You can see like versus the white shutters in the other room off to just in here. It's a really nasty colour. So we are painting there, and we've just moved in here. And you have to excuse all my sewing supplies, all my huge box of elastics, and you know, a lot of other stuff that's in here. I'm going to be cleaning this back out and, you know, turning it into the art studio a little bit better. But anyway, back to Kmart. What else did I buy? These little bamboo pots, which I think are gorgeous for popping the pins in. I have a couple, as you can see over there anyway, and I bought another 2 of those specifically for this. I do have already have, obviously I didn't buy these at Kmart, but I do have the you know, the really proper artist pit pens from good old Faber-Castell, and I guess I can do a little bit of a trial, you know, versus those as well. So that is my Kmart haul. I'll put down here the exact cost that it did cost me, and then I guess, you know, if you really wanted to just get started, you know, with bullet journaling, you probably really only needed like $3 for these, $5 for these, and, you know, the $5 journal. So you could probably get away with it for, you know, absolutely bare minimum under $20, which would be, yeah, which is pretty good, which is less than the price of a journal from a more expensive place. So I guess that's a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to switch screens now, and we're going to do some testing of the pens and things on the paper and see what it looks like. And then, as I said, later on we'll be doing some videos, you know, actually going through the art journaling, going through everything. So it's a little bit exciting with that. You know, I'm looking forward to creating like a document of what I do with my art. Anyway, so thanks, and we'll switch screens. Well, hey guys, so here I am. I'm just trying to set up my little desk there. That was just a little piece of art there that I was working on just the other day. Still trying to get a little bit of a handle around my my lighting in here, but we're getting there. At least it's daylight colours. Now these are the fineliners, 0.4mm Anko pens. I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind these. They wrote quite well on the page. They weren't too smudgy. I'm left-handed, so you know, that's a fairly big consideration for me. They didn't, you know, cut out. You know how sometimes when you're doing zigzags and crosses and swizzles, you know, they just sort of nick and don't leave a really good line. But these seem to really do the job. So I was actually really happy, and I have been playing around with them this evening, doing some, you know, journal header designs and things, and I liked those. They were really good. I would recommend those. Possibly not as good quality as some of the, you know, the very best, you know, fine liners I've used, but they were all right. So we'll go with that. They are something that I will keep in my little arsenal. I don't know how long they'll last. There is 4 in the pack, and they were relatively cheap. So, you know, $2 or $3 each, rather for the whole pack, rather than $2 or $3 each. Now these are the metallic markers, and the gold one was awesome. I really liked this. Okay, couldn't figure out how to make it work, but it's like the Posca pens. You have to jab it up and down on the piece of paper, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, to get it to start flowing. And then it hadn't quite got it right yet. I needed a little bit more. As you can see, it kind of cut out a bit there, so I did a little bit more, and then it started writing really quite nicely. I liked this. This was okay. It was really nice and shiny. It was easy to use. It wrote well. It wasn't too smudgy, and it didn't leave great big ink blobs at the start and finish of the words. Yeah, no, it cuts out just there. I don't know why. Little phrase I've always written since I was, I don't know, 13, 14, just the way the word or world is formed, the stars beyond the light, I don't know. You know how you just sometimes when you pick up a pen to write with it, you write something? That's what I write. Anyway, as you can see there, that looks really gold, really shiny. It looks really expensive pen, and I was really happy with that. This will be something that I will keep and see how well they last. Whether or not I just got a good one, I'm not sure, because the silver one, which I'm just about to use, starting to come up, wasn't quite as good. It left some, you know, those slightly more sort of alcohol, sort of inky, blobby marks. Maybe I revved it up a little bit too much. See, it was a bit much. It left some bigger splodges at the beginning, as you can see there, of the crosses. The start and finish points were a little bit more splodgy, like there and there. But, you know, it was silver and it was shiny, and it left a good stain of silver across the page, rather than, you know, cutting in and cutting out or anything like that. So that was okay. Perhaps, you know, some of the pens are better than others. Or it's a colour thing, I'm not sure, but they are probably worth a try. And the next one is these little fine liner pens. They feel quite flimsy in the hand, and they're quite narrow, and they do write. And that one's probably not the very best one to demonstrate because it's such a pale colour. And that's not just the lighting in here. That is actually a really, really pale colour, and I didn't quite realise how poorly that was going to show up on screen either. That's it in the black there. It writes quite nicely, on par with the fine liner pens. And here it is. I'm just choosing a better colour. These are okay. I'm not sure again how long they will last. Relatively unsmudgy, very little bleed through. You can see there though that the metallic ones did have a little bit of bleed through, but not as much as I expected for the poor quality paper, and certainly not as much as the pens that are coming up, which were not these ones but some other ones a bit later on, which were quite disappointing. So these are the metallic markers, so they had quite a soft feel on the nibs. I was actually not amazingly impressed with these. They weren't very metallic, and as you can see, that seems to have like a two-tone, yellow on one side, slightly golder on the other. Probably is a use for it. It was a little bit difficult to write with because the nib was a little bit floppy, I guess, like in all those brush pens, you know, are. They were, look, I'll probably still use them, but I wasn't amazingly impressed. Some of the colours were quite nice. The green's quite a nice sort of kind of colour green. A little bit of bleed through, but not, you know, not too tragic. not too tragic given, you know, how bright and colourful they are and how poor the paper is. It is only a 7 inch sandpaper. I, as I said earlier on, would much prefer to be working with something that was at least, as you can see, there's no shimmer there, and you can see it through, but there's no actual bleed through, strike through. Yeah, I do prefer at least 100. Okay, these, great case, they looked brilliant. I got them out and I went, ooh, okay, here, really floppy. Like, great if you were colouring in like how they're probably supposed to be used, you know, not writing like that, but they're really floppy. And I was like, oh, let's have a play with these, you know, let's see what they do. And they didn't seem to me to be any stronger than the other pens, you know, the glitter pens up there on the right hand side. I thought, oh, okay, you know, like, eventually I get around to having a little bit of a look through the other side. I didn't like them at all. And, oh yeah, this is the, this is the other one. So this is the, they have a bullet and the bullet nib's okay. Yeah, it was all right. It's a little bit thick, you know, it's like that 2 mil rather than 1 mil, you know, if you wanted something that was a little bit thicker, it's okay. And yeah, okay. What does that actually say? Let's have a look. It says nice colour. Okay, and unfortunately, I moved the page. It's a smidgen bit here. I should probably cut this out actually, but I won't. I'll just have it. Yeah. Anyway, no, these ones, they looked nice in the little case, but certainly on this quality paper, I don't know that they are worth your money. And the bleed through, as you can see, it's gone straight through to the other page. So I was very disappointed with those. They were like a no. Not only have they gone, you know, you can see them through the page, but they've actually bled through. Whereas the other ones there were okay. The fine liners were all right, but all those brush pens were just, as you can see, little dots and things all through like the page behind it, and they just were not good. So this is going back again to the original fine liners. You can see there's no bleed through with those. You can see it through the thing, but not all the way through. Okay, so this is the other, oh no, sorry, this is the last packet, sorry, the last pack of the brush pens, which are much better. They don't go through. Excuse the poor, like, silly drawings. I really, you know, maybe I should have planned something a little bit better there, you know, like to have something that was visually interesting, not just, you know, me scribbling on a piece of paper, but I didn't quite get there. And now I've opened them all and put them all away and things like that, so I can't really re-record that. Now, the only thing that was quite disappointing here was when those colours were wet, using the fine liner over the top of them created some bleed through on the paper, and it created some marks. So as you can see there, that's kind of like sunk through. If it was dry, it didn't go through, but if it was wet from the brush pen, then that did not work. You can see there those little dots. And that's just me testing to make sure that the fine liner, when it's gone over a few times in the one go, wasn't going to bleed through, which it didn't seem to. And these brush pens, which came in that cardboard packet, yeah, a little bit when they were, you know, a little bit of you know, showing through if you use them a little bit too thick, but they were okay. And I think a lot of that is paper issues, and that's just me pulling everything out and having a little bit of a play. So those metallic brush pens, yeah, they were okay. The metallic markers were great. Those I recommend. They were really good. Maybe I should slow this bit down. The fine liner pens, definitely recommend. Those, yeah, they were okay. Yep, we'll go with them. They were, yes, they were okay. Okay. These ones are fine. Yeah, those ones were fine. But the ones in the little pretty cases were crap. And I didn't like those. Hey guys, well anyway, it's obviously quite a bit later at night now, dealt with kids, dinner, all the usual jazz that one has to do in the evenings, and just putting together a video, and I just thought I'd leave you with just a couple of last little thoughts. So I'm really enjoying using the fineliner pen, and the Kmart Journal is not too bad. The paper is a little bit thinner and cheaper than perhaps I would like, but it is actually still perfectly serviceable. You know, it writes really quite smoothly, it's a nice color. Yeah, no, I can handle that. And then some of the pens were good. The metallic ones were amazing. The fine liners were good. The really thin ones were good. And those brush pens in the the white, the packet. Where are they? These ones. Yeah, no, they were the ones. Just didn't cut it for this paper. I'd like to give it another try on a thicker paper, and to see if I can make that work, but maybe not. Anyway, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm just using this as like a doodle dot journal at the moment, basically trying out some new things and seeing exactly what I want, because I want something quite specific from this art journal. And like as a kid, I always used to play around with headings and things in my school books. I used to spend ages figuring out what headings and what colors and which ones were going to be underlined and which ones were going to be in capitals. And I remember particularly in biology, we had really tall A4 but tall ones, and they were hardcover that we wrote in. And some friends of mine, we always used to sit there and we used to have a key in the front of our books to see like our headings. So I'm a little bit like that, so we'll see how we go. And I'm going to use this as my I guess as my tester. I've just been having a bit of a flick through this evening, looking at just some different types of headings and things that I could use for, I guess, various things. And then of course I want this page, obviously it's not going to look like this. I was having a couple of goes at having a look at how I was going to work this, because I want to write down a couple of key people who I want to follow every month, or pay particular attention to, and follow their posts, and make sure that I keep up with everything they do, because I just want to have a better understanding, I guess, of different creators, and hopefully make some connections with a few people across Instagram and Pinterest, maybe, though it's a bit more difficult there because it's not quite as personal as Instagram and YouTube can be. Facebook perhaps not so, but we'll see how we go with that. And I want to record, obviously this isn't going to be the final version. I was just getting down some ideas of exactly what I want to do. So on a front cover I'm going to have how many videos, and followers, and those sorts of things, and a couple of maybe goals and things down in here as well. And we'll go through in the next video sort of my ideas of, I really need to get this left to right thing kind of figured out a little bit better, because it's just really not happening for me today. Just a few things there, a list of paintings and details about each painting, and a record of if they're filmed, edited and posted, and where I've posted them to, and painting ideas, and housekeeping tasks, and stretching, painting, and just keeping up with a few things, and just so I can tick them off, and done it. Spend some time, I've done this, check, done it, just a few things like that. So it's going to be really specific to art and blogging in particular. So it'll be an interesting experience for people who are using bullet journals to record those sorts of things. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and go and have a glass of wine. I think maybe I should have had that. No, I haven't had any yet. Oh, actually I have. Yeah, I had some with dinner. Okay, no, it didn't really. It was only half a glass. So I'm going to disappear now, and really I need to go and do the packing for the kids tomorrow. School doesn't stop. Got to fix those shoelaces that still came home broken, and sort all that stuff out. So anyway, good to see you in the next video, and please, if you've managed to stick around to the rambling at the end here, like and subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out a lot, And if you journal or paint or whatever it is, I'll come and follow you and have a look at your stuff, and maybe you'll get on the little list that's in here, for people I want to have spend some time getting to know the art, or getting to know their journaling, or getting to know what it is that they do in the big wide social media world. Anyway, we will see you in the next video. See you later.